Hello and welcome to Crypto News, today 37th of 2026, and the top crypto news is as follows. We will start today's episode, yet another day, with clarity as US prosecutors are proposing changes to clarity since time is running out. Let us say that the changes they want to make concern a provision related to developers, literally whatever that may mean. The White House crypto czar, Mr. Patrick, stated that the provisions do not even come close to the Trump administration's position, and implied that they were not the result of productive negotiations. So, as the days go by, it seems increasingly difficult for clarity to pass as legislation in 2026. Moving on, we will go to BNY, which is also entering blockchain. This particular institution is one of the largest custodial banks in the world, and it has announced that the New York-based institution will launch a blockchain-based version of its transfer agency business, which manages fund ownership records and investor transaction records. To be a bit more specific, so-called transfer agents are financial service providers that maintain official records regarding who holds shares in investment funds. They manage tasks such as processing investor transactions, issuing and redeeming mutual fund shares, updating ownership records, and supporting communication between mutual funds and investors. And what I have just described covers approximately $8.63 million in personal assets across 7.6 million accounts. All of this is gradually moving onto the blockchain until the entire infrastructure comes onto the blockchain, as all banks and financial institutions will eventually do. And we are currently watching this develop slowly but surely. Moving forward, it is time for us to go into crypto news, and we will head to the Ethereum Foundation, which has a new member. Specifically, the Ethereum Foundation appointed Mr. Pascal Cavasaccio, co-founder and head of the Crypto Security Incident Response Team, CL 911, to its board of directors. So, as the Ethereum Foundation told us, Mr. Pascal joined for an initial one-year term, and he will participate in the four-member board of directors alongside Mr. Vitalik and others. Naturally, he will be responsible for the security of Ethereum and its ecosystem. Moving on, it is time for a stablecoin. We will go to Tether's USAT stablecoin, which is compliant with the Genius Act. Essentially, think of it as a version of Tether that is compliant with the Genius stablecoin legislation. We learned that it will also launch on CELO, a coin whose price is down 92% from its all-time high. This will be the first time this particular coin will be available on a network other than Ethereum. It is worth noting that on the CELO network, in addition to using the network's native coin for gas fees, you will also be able to pay gas fees with USAT. On CELO, USAT represents 28% of cross-blockchain USDT transfers and maintains a market share of over 90% in a version of Tether Gold. So these are the latest moves for the Tether ecosystem. For our last news item of the day, before we get into the market, we will go to Bitcoin, where there is a new way to protect against quantum computers. Researchers at American Fortress, a blockchain security and encryption company based in Wyoming with a focus on quantum computer security, are proposing a cryptographic system that they say could allow Bitcoin and other blockchains to withstand the threat of quantum computers without changing existing wallet addresses. There is essentially a paper called ZK-POSP featuring quantum proof signatures. In simple terms, the researchers describe replacing traditional elliptic curves with zero-knowledge proofs while maintaining compatibility with hierarchical deterministic wallets, so that no one needs to change their wallet. This is not the first time we have heard about using zero-knowledge technology to protect against quantum computers. And in general, newer blockchains after Bitcoin are primarily using such technology to protect against quantum computers and other threats. Continuing on, let us now look at our beloved crypto market, with Bitcoin standing at $64,000. The volatility is not very high, and I think I know the reason. To start, let me tell you that the Fed kept interest rates steady, which was expected based on market probabilities. So that is why I believe For starters, that Bitcoin did not move much. But there is more. Let me now tell you that regarding the Fed's decision, 9 voted in favor of keeping interest rates steady, and 3 voted that there should be a rate increase. And those 3 people may become more, because if we look at the probabilities for September 16th, we will see that there is a 65% chance of seeing a 0.25% interest rate hike, and only a 34% chance of seeing rates remain steady. But we still have 48 days, and many things could change by then. One of the things we need to watch is the number coming out today, the PCE year over year. This is another important figure we look at to understand where the Fed will move. And as I said, it comes out today. But even more important is tomorrow's number, because on the 31st of this month, the Bank of Japan will announce whether it will raise interest rates or keep them steady. That, of course, could determine the situation with carry trading. So all of this, I believe, is what the crypto market is waiting to see before deciding which direction to move. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, 37th of 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.